Hi, I'm Dave Salter Adams with the USA Heartbeat as we go across the country and find out opportunities and ways people are working together for the common good of the community. And we don't have to go far from Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is where we're based, because about Sunday, about almost a week ago today, there was a massive F3 tornado that hit sections of Chattanooga. East Brainerd is one of the suburbs of Chattanooga, and we're sitting here or standing here next to a church, the East Brainerd Church of Christ. And with me is Chris Barnett. Chris, quite a tornado.
It was something. It was not something that everyone was prepared for, even though there had been storms that had gone through Mississippi and Alabama. The level of storm that came through here, being the EF3, was just not something that people were expecting. It caught the news crews off guard, and of course the families. And coming through at around 11 o'clock midnight, we are just very thankful that there were not more casualties and injuries with it.
Wind speeds about 145 miles per hour. There were 150 buildings damaged. Some of the buildings totally destroyed. If you can see behind me, the church steeple here at Church of Christ at East Brainerd was knocked off the roof, and more than 30 people lost their lives. It's tragic.
It was. It was a very tragic evening, and after a very big day of celebration, it was Easter Sunday, and so even though with the COVID-19 and the pandemic, people not able to get together, but still celebrating in different ways, getting on Facebook with one another and enjoying Easter, and then all of a sudden for this to happen in the evening, it's been a very traumatic experience that's really emotionally affected the community in a very deep way.
And one thing we like to see about Americans is we come together in times of need. And right after the pandemic, or we're still in the pandemic, the COVID-19 virus, and now the tornado, we're seeing people here in Tennessee come together to help their fellow neighbors.
Absolutely. We have had people from all different houses of worship. We've had Hispanics, Anglos, African American, all from different backgrounds come and to be a part here because they want to help. And when you have situations like this, all of a sudden all the differences begin to fade out the window. Differences that should not have mattered to begin with, all of a sudden individuals realize what's truly important, come together and help, and we've seen it in a huge way here.
Now, you were also saying that people were tired of being cooped up in their homes after the self-quarantine. They were ready to get out and do something.
Exactly. They were excited to be able to have the opportunity to serve their neighbor because it gave them, if nothing else, an opportunity to get out and to do something besides being cooped up for the months that people have been trying to practice social distancing, wanting to be good neighbors and stay away. Well, now the opportunity came. In order to be a good neighbor, we had to actually interact, and still trying to practice some good safety habits, but needing to be able to be out in the community and help our friends.
Now, if people are watching this in Oregon or other parts of the country, what can they do to help?
Well, a big thing, of course, we ask for prayers. We feel like that prayers and the good thoughts that people can send are very important. Another thing is be aware in your community of the people who are around you. Don't wait until times like this to become involved. Because it's times like this when all of a sudden it seems like everyone rallies around one another, but we need to be able to know who our neighbors are and to be able to care for them so that when things like this hit your area, and it will, you're ready to respond and you're ready to take care of one another. You know, the things that impact our lives the most are the things we never see coming, and it could happen to any neighborhood just like it has to ours. And the more we are prepared by knowing the people who are around us and already being involved in their lives, I think the better we can help one another.
That's exactly what we try to do here at USA Heartbeat, is to encourage people not to wait for crises or pandemics or tornadoes to find out who your neighbor is. Just knock on your door and get to know your neighbor. This country was built on people helping one another and getting to know each other. Let's get back to what we call the United States of America. Let's get back to where we're helping one another, and I know we have some very passionate political arguments about the direction of the country and what to do about finances and taxes and budgets and parties and whether you support Trump or against Trump or whatever. But we want to, and obviously we need to have those discussions. However, we also need to love one another. We need to help one another. We need to realize that we as Americans need to help each other. The American dream is still alive, and we're still here to help. So don't wait for a disaster to go out and get to know your friends and neighbors.
Exactly. And I think that what we have already seen here in Chattanooga because of the pandemic and now with the tornado, you see where that spirit that you're talking about, it is alive and it is present. And a lot of the things that we see in the media just seems to keep trying to divide more and more. But when you get in the grassroots and you see what's actually taking place here, neighborhood by neighborhood, you realize that that dream is still alive, it's still well, and it's still something that's blessing the people of our country.
America is still alive. The American dream is still alive. We still need to reach out and love one another and not be divided. This is the United States of America. In Chattanooga, Tennessee, I'm Dave Salter Adams, and this is USA Heartbeat.